Yeah, well, it's just interesting. We just spoke to a commercial pilot the other day saying that the pilot shortage wasn't the same issue we were seeing earlier in the pandemic. But let's talk a little bit more about this. As I mentioned, Florida Democratic Congresswoman Sheila Cherfilus-McCormick of the House Transportation Committee. Good morning to you. Thanks for making time to talk with us. There has been a lot of finger pointing going on. It's interesting hearing Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg wanting to hold the airlines responsible. He himself was left stranded at some point this weekend with all of those flight cancellations. What's being done about all of this?
Well, in Congress, we've been putting forth legislation to make sure that we can secure and have enough funding so we can stop this crisis. What that looks like is we just passed the Advanced Air Mobility Coordination and Leadership Act, which puts funding towards not only just training more pilots, but also creating more technologies and advancing more technology so we can have more planes actually flying so we can accommodate everyone. So we're working as hard as we can.
Secretary Buttigieg actually said the government may force airlines to hire more staff. How exactly would that work?
Well, what we're looking at is training, right? If we could start training a new class of pilots coming in, then we can meet the need. So we put aside the funding for that. And we also had money in the infrastructure bill, also trying to have more people coming into the workforce to assist the demand in aviation right now.
Southwest Airlines pilots, we showed that video before we checked in with you. Over 1,000 of them picketing, saying that the airlines are being mismanaged, there's poor scheduling, there is not enough rest, all of this due to staffing shortages. So, I mean, a lot of industries are facing this, but without enough employees, is the goal to make the airlines more transparent with passengers so that maybe perhaps they'll stop overbooking flights so that they'll only fly planes that they actually are equipped for staff-wise?
I think that is exactly the goal, and also with their federal partners, because as we're setting aside the funding to assist our aviation partners, we want transparency also. We want to make sure that the funding is actually being used properly. We want to make sure that our pilots, which are overworked, which are stressed and fatigued, are actually getting relief that they need. And that's why we've moved towards funding these projects and funding the industry. So we too want to make sure that this money is being managed correctly and that our pilots are being prioritized and the safety of our customers and American people is actually being prioritized. So we are looking into that to ensure that everyone has a safe flying experience, but also their expectations are being met. Being stranded at the airport, flights being declined and flights being actually canceled, it seems like a living reality for me as we fly from state to state. It's reoccurring. So we're really trying to figure out how can we actually work together to make sure that as we move into the summer months, that the cancellations will stop.
Well, it's just like, be honest and just do what you're able to do with the number of people you can do it with. But you used the word crisis in the beginning of this interview. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being a high crisis, what number would you order America's current situation in terms of the airline industry?
I think this weekend we've seen it move to like maybe a 7. And what we want to do is be proactive. We want to make sure that it's not going on. But this weekend was also a very high travel weekend. And as we're going into 4th of July, we just want to make sure that we're doing whatever we can do to partner and make sure that that it's not increasing. And that's what our goal is to make sure that our customers, and as we're flying, as the pandemic is being raised, that no one's being stranded with their family and their children at the airport, especially when we're actually putting forth funding. So we're demanding that transparency. We're looking into even maybe if we're going to have hearings, but the goal is to make sure that everyone is safe and that no one's being stranded.
And nobody loses their temper, because obviously it's already an emotional experience when you're traveling. On top of the fact that a lot of people have been missing going out of town, and now they're finally getting back to normal. But nothing normal about this, as you mentioned, crisis. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.